What's up, guys? Hope you had a good weekend. We're over at Epic Adventure Outfitters today, and we're getting started on a project that has been in the planning for almost a year now. We've been gathering parts, kind of figuring everything out, and today's the day we're finally doing stage one. We're going to be installing a full power management system with a lithium battery, solar power. We're going to solve all of our power needs, which is a constant struggle when you're on the road for multiple days and you need to power computers and camera batteries and whatever it may be. So in order to achieve what we want to do here with this power management system, we are going to have to install a bunch of equipment, and we are working with a number of partners. First of all, of course, the Ginger and Epic Adventure Outfitters helping out with the install and all the wiring. The Ginger is a very good garage monkey. We're also working with Redarc on this. They provided the Redarc Red Vision power management system. Discover Battery have provided us with a 200 amp hour lithium battery that is going to be the main power source. And we're also working with Lensun Solar, who has provided the solar panels for this. Do you also recall that we installed the RSI Smart Cap on here about 6 months ago? We've added this bin here from RSI as well. And this is where we're going to be mounting all of the equipment, which the Ginger here is finding placement for. So I've gone down to a foam shop and had a piece of black camera case foam custom cut to fit in here, about 2 inches thick. We're going to put this on the bottom, and then we'll be able to cut little inserts for batteries and things that are going to rest in here and keep them from banging around while we're wheeling hard. Now we're trying to figure out where everything's going to go, marking where holes are going to be drilled in the box here, and just getting it all lined up so everything will be organized. Landon has been working on getting everything mounted into the box, which we've removed from the truck for now, and it's coming along really nice so far.
There's a ton of little holes in here from the Molly panel, and we've just thrown some hole plugs in there with some RTV silicone. It'll keep all that stuff out of there. The goal is to not have any dust or any sort of moisture in here, because very quickly that will start to corrode the electrical terminals on this equipment. So it's taken a few attempts to get here and design revisions, but we do now have all of the main components installed in the box. Using nut certs or riv nuts so that these are easily serviceable and removable in the future, should Sean ever need to. So with the Redarc Manager 30 system, there is an option to run an AC shore power feed to the box. If it sits for several weeks or several months, just to keep all of the cells in the battery happy, we'll be running a NOCO waterproof outlet on the side of Sean's Smart Cap canopy. That'll make that really easy for him to plug in and unplug. For all of the connections, we're using a cable gland or strain relief so that all of the connections coming in and out of the box are totally sealed, again, against dust and moisture. And you can see all these guys have been siliconed in. We'll do that to all the little nut certs too. And then on the final install of all the components, we'll do just some silicone on the fastener, and then that way it's good to go.
So after much preparation, today is the day we're installing the box into the truck, getting everything wired up. It's going to be cool. I'm going to bring you along on the process. It'll be going back into this hole right here.
Relax.
All right, so here we have the 200 amp hour lithium battery from Discover Battery. We're gonna have someone from Discover Battery down here a little bit later to get into the technical details of this, because it's a really cool battery. But Landon's gonna tell us a little bit about this custom box that we've made for it. It's gonna mount in the truck bed, and the wiring and stuff that we got going on here.
We have a custom battery box for our friend Sean here, housing a 200 amp lithium battery. Inside the battery box, we have the Redarc battery sensor, which will measure how much current is going in and out of the battery. We also have our circuit protection in the form of MIDI fuse for the distribution box, as well as a resettable circuit breaker for his 2000 watt inverter. This will package everything nicely. All of the connections come out over a nice strain relief or cable gland, so there should be no moisture or dust getting into this thing.
So this here is going to be the shore power port. We're going to drill a hole right in here. basically so that we can plug into electrical to charge the battery if the truck's parked for long periods of time. Alright, so now we're going to be running wiring from under the bed here into the back of the truck so that we can have an electrical outlet in here as well as a Dometic port for the fridge, which goes right here on the goose gear platform. So this big cable here is our positive and negative wire that is going to go to the main battery. 22nd? No idea. Landon is just making final preparations with the battery, getting all the wiring tied in, and then the box is going to be mounted here under the bin. And then we've got Matthew here from Discover Battery. He's going to tell us a bit about the the technology behind this battery, which is pretty cool.
Here really to talk about the lithium blue battery, which is really purpose built for this kind of application, for off-roading, for marine, for RV. So no matter what you want to power anything with, you can now use lithium. The battery we've hooked Sean up with is a 200 amp hour in a GC 12 size, so it's like a golf cart battery size. The really cool thing with this battery, which is super handy for anybody that wants to use one, is it comes with a Bluetooth app. We can see that he's got 64% left of state of charge, which is SOC. We can see where we're at with voltage, where he's at with amperage, which will change when there's a draw on there. We can actually see the status of the battery, which is sitting idle right now, but if it's actually charging, it will say charging, or if there's a draw on it, it'll actually show it as being active. And we can also see what the battery temperature is in either Celsius or in Fahrenheit. And the other really cool thing with this is you can actually send any kind of report. So if you're really interested in understanding what's going on with your battery, and if you ever have a problem with it, you can send that report off to our customer service folks who can help you with whatever you need. So the other really cool thing with the lithium batteries, and it's just any lithium battery, is just the weight. That battery is about half the weight of an equivalent AGM size. So we put an additional 44 pounds of battery weight on here as opposed to 80 pounds in an AGM. So a little bit of weight savings might help gas mileage, which is not necessarily a bad thing for everybody. Charges super fast. So if you run your battery down on this, you'll be able to charge way, way faster than an AGM. So I think what we're expecting with Sean is that he'll never run his battery dry. He'll be able to charge it up through his alternator by driving. He'll be able to plug it in through shore power or even using solar power to keep those batteries or to keep the battery topped up. What we're looking at with a lithium battery is you can cycle that battery, meaning charge coming in, charge going out, about 4,000 cycles. Where with an AGM battery, you're probably 400 to 500 cycles. So it's about 10 times the length or longevity or lifespan of an AGM. We've also built in some really cool protection equipment so that you don't need to worry about what happens if you were to do take your positive and negative and reverse them by accident. There's a user replaceable fuse in the top of the battery, which you can just quickly swap in and out if you happen to do something funky with your wiring to protect the battery management system, which is really the brains of that battery. So we've made it super easy and super serviceable from that perspective.
We've got shore power going into the Red Arc system. You can see that on the screen there. Very cool. So we can plug that in the driveway to charge up, or at a campsite if there's electricity, whenever we need extra power going into the battery.
Are you gonna be able to run your margarita machine?
Yes.
Excellent.
So Landon's gonna route some new power wire for the Jackery charge. What are we gonna get out of this?
We should get upwards of 100, maybe 200 watts rather than the 80 that we're getting out of our sacrificed car charger. So
Yeah, so more power. So we're using industrial strength 3M double-sided tape here to affix the solar panels to the top of the truck. We're probably going to put one of them in the middle of the hard top of the rooftop tent, and then one of them on top of one of these Argus cases, the bigger one on the driver's side. Those are the two 50-watt solar panels. Now they're mounted up here. We're going to take care of running the wiring down to the red arc system. These two panels were provided by Lensun Solar. I'll put a link in the description, so shout out to Lensun Solar for helping us out with this project. So we've had our first trip out with the lithium battery and red arc system in the cold, and the problem that I ran into was once the battery temperature drops below 5 degrees Celsius, the system won't charge, because you're not supposed to charge lithium batteries below 5 degrees Celsius due to certain chemical reactions that happen that are bad for the battery. So how do we fix that problem, because we're out in below zero temperatures so often? What we're going to try is we've got this water tank heating pad for an RV, and we've got some temperature sensors for the red arc system. So we're going to try putting the heating pad around the battery and then trigger it to turn on when the temperature drops to a certain temperature, keeping the battery warm. Yeah.
That should work pretty nice. Exactly.
So you can see here now on the screen we have a temperature reading, and that is the sensor that we've placed in the battery box so we can monitor the temperature of the battery. There's also now a new soft switch here for the heating pad that's on the battery. Now this heating pad is going to automatically be triggered when temperature drops below 5 degrees, but I do have the option to turn this off if I don't want it running and draining power. So hopefully that solves that problem. All right guys, so here we have the final product. We have the system fully installed. We've got some LED lighting we've added here and back in here so that you can see inside the box. It's got like a nice little glow to it. We've done the custom cutouts in the foam here for drone batteries, my headlamp, the drone controller. We can charge everything up here super easily. I can wheel with this. This is all tight, so it's not gonna fall out when we're wheeling around. And then there's lots of extra space here for lights or other things that I might want to charge that I can add here. We've wired the Jackery directly into the red arc system for charging. We've added solar panels on the roof for charging from the sun. This will also charge from the alternator or from the shore power port on the other side of the truck. Of course, this whole system is powered by the 200 amp hour lithium battery from Discover Battery. We built a custom box here to put that battery in, wired everything in through this box on the RSI Smart Cap. So once again, I just want to thank our sponsors who helped with this project. Of course, Epic Adventure Outfitters for doing the amazing install. They probably spent weeks of time working on this. Discover Battery for providing the lithium battery. Red Arc Electronics for providing the Red Vision system that's controlling everything here, and Lensun Solar for the solar panels that are on the roof. I will link as much of this stuff as I can in the description for you in case you're interested in trying this out yourself. And of course, if you're local and you want to get a setup like this or any other work done to your newer Jeep, come check out the guys here at Epic Adventure Outfitters.